Hey everybody, Brett from AstartesGaming here, back with another Mount & Blade 2 Bannerlord developer blog video. Today we're checking out the developer blog for October 26, 2017, which is another Q&A session. This time with one of their technical artists, who, as they put it, is essentially integrating art assets into the game. It sounded like when we met the graphic artist who did a lot of the 3D renders and textures and stuff, it sounded like their job involved a little bit of this as well, or at least the particular graphic artist that they were doing the question answer session with, because she did talk about having to implement her creations in the game. It sounds like this guy's job is basically dedicated to that type of stuff. So anyways, let's just dive on in. Integrated into the game without sacrificing the artistic vision or exceeding the technical limitations of the platform. So the role demands for them to be artistically talented and to possess a good technical understanding of the tools at their disposal. Let's see. Oh, they actually address her Q&A. Okay, so let's see what they say. In previous installments of our Q&A blogs, we introduced you to one of our 2D/3D artists, as well as the lead programmer of our game engine team. In today's blog, we will talk with the person who acts as a link between these two individuals and the very different roles that they play in the development of Bannerlord. Okay, so he joined in 2010, and he is officially a technical artist. So what does he normally do during his day? My duty as a technical artist is to act as a bridge between the graphic artists and the programmers. I work alongside both teams to provide support in solving any issues they face during the development process. During my time at Tailworlds, I have worked on various parts of Bannerlord. My involvement includes motion capturing, rigging, animations, visual effects, lighting, the interface for the game editor, as well as designing the user experience. I try my best to help my teammates whenever they need assistance with any of these different aspects throughout the day. Okay, and here we see a cool animation of a horse running. So what does he like most about Bannerlord? It offers much more in terms of richer content, a stronger game engine, and a higher visual quality than the previous game in the series, Warband. Well, we already knew that, didn't we? It's obviously got more content, and the game engine better be stronger. It is, you know, obviously a much more recently made game. It's still being made, whereas Warband is pretty dated, and even when Warband came out, the engine was far from cutting edge. So, yeah, nothing new there. Although the engine is obviously a very significant improvement. The battle sizes that it will be able to handle is incredible compared to what we're dealing with Warband. And Warband just doesn't play nice with higher-end computers. The engine is so limited that even on like very, very high-end rigs, you can only run your battle size so large, because the engine just doesn't know how to handle too many characters on the screen at once. I have like I wouldn't say a super high-end PC, but I built it myself, and it's more than adequate for what I do. And I can play most games on either maximum settings or very, very close. And when I play Warband, if I set, you know, the battle size is too high, mind you, the slider in the default game I can max out no problem. It's when you get like the battle size editor like mod stuff where you can crank it up as high as you want. If I go too high with that, you know, the game really starts to chug on me. So what excites him the most is the editor and tools that they'll be using to develop the game. When designing new tools, we aim to provide up-to-date technologies while prioritizing user experience. Doing this means that the game will be more user-friendly when it comes to modding. I'm really looking forward to seeing the content that modders will create using these tools. Okay, and we get to look at a few of them here. This looks like a scene editor, maybe? Unfortunately, with the way OBS works, if I click on this, you guys won't be able to see it zoomed in. So, be sure to check out the link in the description to go to the actual page for this, and you can, you know, take another look, a closer look at this. So he's really... Oh, right, blah, blah, blah. We already read that. What's the most difficult thing that he's solved so far during the production of Bannerlord? Before joining Tailworlds... Let me make sure you guys can read this. I think I should scroll up a little bit. So before joining Tailworlds, I used to work on CG animations. I experienced some difficulties in adapting my previous experiences into real-time rendering, especially my first few days. In my previous job, it took 60 minutes to render each frame. At Tail Worlds, we were creating 60 frames per second. I found this process to be quite challenging in the beginning. You need to consider performance while following the aesthetic of the work. So it sounds like, yeah, he was working in like film and TV type stuff, where everything is pre-rendered, so it can be as, you know, lifelike and detailed as you want, because you're not trying to render this as somebody's actively playing it. It's already taken care of and converted over into a video, not something that's, you know, being manipulated by a person sitting on controls. And we get to see a cool fire animation here. It looks pretty good. Fire's always tricky in video games, and I've definitely seen worse. So let's see, I overcame this mostly through trial and error, and by closely cooperating with the engine team. I think that we have been largely successful in this, and it was great to see the positive feedback on dynamic effects that we received from the videos we shared at E3. He's currently working on atmosphere and general lighting. Today, for example, he's working on a day-night cycle and toning settings. We also record new animations using the motion capture system every week. And here we get to see the same scenery in a couple different light settings. So we have like, I would call this like maybe dawn, like right before sunrise. And here we have just after the sun comes up over the horizon. And then like morning as the sun's a little bit low in the sky still. And then this is like closer to noon, and you can see that the lighting changes pretty significantly across all these. The tone and like the color seems to change quite a bit too. So what faction do you like the most in Bannerlord? His favorite faction is the Khuzait because they're inspired by Asian nations and culture. Now, as an American, when I hear Asian nations, I think of like Japan and China and stuff like that. But he's probably referring more to like Eurasia and stuff, because obviously we're talking about like you know, nomadic horse tribes. Well, not tribes of horses, but, you know, horse riding tribes, like you would have found in the Russian steppes and stuff like that. So I think he's talking more like, I guess, Eurasia. I'm not sure what to call that exactly, but not you know, maybe Mongolian, maybe, but certainly not, you know, China and Japan. So can you show us an example of a script component? I won't go into detail about script components for now, as we are thinking about publishing a detailed guide about modding. However, I will share a simple example for now. And then we get another screenshot, I think. And this is the scripting system, or one of the scripting tools. So we see a windmill here, and you can see a bit of script off to the side there. Which is cool that this is all integrated and you can kind of look at everything all at once. It seems like the tools are going to be really, really helpful. But I'd like to see... Because for Warband, we have modding tools. Most of them are community made. They weren't made by Tail Worlds themselves. But like OpenBRF, which I actually have open right now. You guys can't see it because I have OBS in window mode. But OpenBRF is a fantastic tool for getting and manipulating meshes and putting them in the game. And Morg's Mountain Blade Editor, another community-made tool, is fantastic for editing the various... I guess you can't call them scripts, because at that point they're already compiled and they're sort of just like a text file. But you edit the text files in Morgs, and you can do quite a bit with that tool as well. That's how you actually add the various mesh items to the game. And that's something I use really extensively as well. For almost all of my Warband Let's Plays, I dive in there and you know, manipulate the mod a little bit to suit our playthrough better. So I'm hoping that the tools that Tail Worlds puts out are going to be just as intuitive and useful as those, if not more so. But anyways, that wraps it up for this week. They didn't really discuss what they might be looking at next week. However, he did hint at one possibility, and that we might be getting a detailed modding guide. However, I guess that will remain to be seen. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I had a great time talking about some Mountain Blade Bannerlord with you, and I look forward to seeing you guys back here for the next video.